So here we are in the year 2020, where everything seems to be going wrong. However, 2020 is also an election year, so we have the power to change some of those things. If I asked you if voting matters based on the current issues we face as a country and how they're being handled, what would your answer be? If you voted yes, then you should know that your fellow citizens' right to vote is being suppressed as we speak. This is being done through mass incarceration, and it affects you and me. Since you decide that every person's vote matters, you should know how every person who doesn't get to vote matters as well. This is a topic that I've always felt passionate about because it affects so many people. In this speech, I'll cover mass incarceration and how it affects voting, as well as how it's been used to suppress the rights of minorities, and I'll talk about why voting is important in general. To begin, let's look at the root of the problem. Through mass incarceration, the United States has been able to suppress the rights of the American people. This problem has resulted in many people losing their right to vote. In 2019, there were approximately 6,106,327 people that were disenfranchised, which was about 2.47% of people that were of age to vote, according to Ballotpedia. As a country, America has the most populated prisons and continues to fill them at an alarming rate. In an article titled Felon Voting Rights, it shares that in all states except Maine and Vermont, felons lose their right to vote while incarcerated. This means that many people won't be able to participate in the upcoming election. No matter if a person is in jail or out of jail, they should have their right to vote. By not allowing felons' voices and opinions to be represented, it's dismissing the people of the United States. While mass incarceration affects everyone, it affects minorities a little more. African Americans make up the majority of the prison population, and prisons are continuously used to suppress minorities. According to the NAACP's fact sheet on incarceration, African Americans and Hispanics make up 32% of the U.S. population. They comprised of 56% of all incarcerated people in 2015. These groups are continuously targeted and thrown in prisons. Many remember the 13th Amendment for being the amendment to abolish slavery. However, slavery is still legal in the United States under one condition: someone's in prison. As the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution states, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Likewise, slaves weren't allowed to vote either, but were counted when deciding a state's number of seats in Congress and the Electoral College. In other words, the prison system can be described as modern-day slavery. It is important to note this comparison because not only is it wrong, but it's a clear connection to our old past. The prison system has been used to target minorities and take away their rights. This must be changed, and prisoners must be given their right to vote back. The voice of the people is stronger than when everyone is together. Whether it's for local or federal positions, everyone plays a role in an election. Fabrizio Gallardi of the University of Zurich argued that in order to increase the presence of female politicians, there needs to be ideal role models elected into office. When you vote for someone, you're potentially voting for change, whether it's policy change or just change in representation. Also, in an article titled Older People in Voting Participation, Past and Future by Robert Bernstock, he mentions the significance older people have in the polls because of how big the baby boomer generation is. Young people can also have that same impact based on their turnout and make change. Lastly, in her work better known as Feelings of Political Efficiency in the 50 States, Jennifer Wolak says, when state governments afford citizens opportunities for voice and deliver desired policy outcomes, I expect that citizens feel more politically effective. As a nation, we should want everyone to feel this way and do what we can to do that, we must give incarcerated individuals their right to vote back. In conclusion, we can see the importance of voting and why everyone deserves a chance to vote. As I wrap up this speech, remember that mass incarceration affects voting by taking away prisoners' right to vote while incarcerated and is used against minorities to suppress their rights. Everyone should have a right to vote, no matter if they're incarcerated or not. If you equally feel that everyone's vote and opinion matters, I challenge you to come up with ways to advocate for the people that can't for themselves. You have a voice of your own, so use it. Go out this fall and vote, and keep those who can't in mind. Thank you.